report that has come under the scanner of the Enforcement Directorate. Getting in some more breaking news, this time from Bengaluru, where an FIR has been registered over alleged pro-Pak slogans in the Vidhan Saudha. Remember, the BJP had taken the Congress government to task by saying that pro-Pakistani slogan reading took place after the Rajya Sabha elections that took place in Karnataka. In fact, the sloganeering that took place, and thereafter the case was handed over to the police. We are given to understand that an FIR has already been registered over the alleged pro-Pakistani slogans, and also there is an FSL report that has basically come into the picture. But first, let me go across to my colleague Prajwal, who is getting us the latest details with regards to the investigation that has been carried out by the Bengaluru police. Prajwal, take us through the details that you're picking up, the FIR that has been registered, and as we understand, there was a preliminary investigation that was carried out. What is it that your sources are indicating?
Shravan, there was a massive political face-off in the state of Karnataka over these alleged pro-Pak slogans, which was shouted in Vidhan Saudha after the victory of Congress MP Nazir Hussain. And finally, it has been proven in the FSL report that 3 people have gone ahead and shouted pro-Pak slogans inside the Vidhan Saudha as well after Nazir Hussain's election results were declared and he emerged victorious. And 3 of them have been identified as Iltaz, a resident of Delhi, Munawar, a resident of RT Nagar in Bengaluru, and yet another person, Mohammed Shafi Nashipudi of Haveri district and in Byadagi Taluk as well. And from what we get to understand, the FIR has already been registered in the Vidhan Saudha police station on the 27th of Feb itself. There was no sort of sections which was added, but now additional sections of 153B as well as 505 under section 2 has also been added, which is for sedition as well. And 3 of the people have already been taken into custody by the Ashok Nagar police station, because now finally the cops have gone ahead and given these FSL reports. In the FSL report, it has clearly been mentioned that by the report in itself, as well as circumstantial evidences, testimonies of witnesses, it has been proved that pro-Pak slogans were shouted in Vidhan Saudha. So it is no more allegedly, it has been proven in the FSL report that in fact pro-Pak slogans were called out at Vidhan Saudha. And we have also accessed this exclusive image of Nashipudi, Mohammed Shafi Nashipudi, who is one of the close aides of Rajya Sabha MP Nazir Hussain, because Nazir Hussain initially denied it. A part of people started denying it. The Congress called this an agenda, but now it has clearly been proven that the supporters of the Congress MP, Rajya Sabha MP Nazir Hussain, had in fact gone ahead and shouted pro-Pak slogans inside the premises of Vidhan Saudha while taking him on a victory lap.
Well, thank you very much for getting us the latest details. Shifting focus now to another story that we are getting in from Mumbai. Let's take you through some of the details that we have picked up. The Indian security agencies intercepted a Pakistan-bound ship from China at Mumbai's Navasheva port. The ship CMA-CGM Attila was suspected to be carrying a dual-use consignment that could be used by Islamabad in its nuclear and ballistic missile program. Sources have now informed that so far no suspicion has been found, or nothing suspicious has been found in the said consignment. In fact, the DRI is looking into this matter, and they are likely to submit a report to the Ministry of Home Affairs. After that, further call will be taken. The concerned authority will act according to the procedures once the claimant puts across details of the said consignment. Effectively, they will have to also claim the consignment. The authority will thereafter act accordingly. Sources have also indicated that the claimer has to provide the entire details of the buyer, seller, and from which port it was picked and where it was to be delivered. Joining us from outside the Mumbai Port Trust is my colleague Sandeep, and also Gursibran getting us the latest details. Let me just quickly first go across to my colleague Sandeep, who's joining us from outside the Mumbai Port Trust. Sandeep, first walk us through the details in terms of how the consignment came in, what's the route that was taken, and what's the latest in terms of the investigation that has been carried out.
See, Shravan, as far as this case is concerned, the ship was tracked by the Indian Custom Officer and the DRI, in fact, at the Mumbai protest, the Nava Sheva route. And in fact, on the inputs of intelligence agencies, the DRI had got the intelligence inputs, and on 23rd of January is the day when this consignment was stopped. After this consignment was stopped, immediately the DRDO officers and a team of DRDO was informed regarding this, and a proper inspection was done, following which a high-level team was also formed by the senior intel and the security officials to inspect this whole very consignment. On the other hand, what we have been told that this ship was in fact coming from China and was supposed to land at Sialkot in Pakistan, and on the same investigation is underway right now. So far nothing suspicious has been found right now by the agencies, but yes, they are not even giving the clean sheet. A report will be in fact prepared by the agency's officers, and that report will be given to the Ministry of Home Affairs, although the concerned authorities are also verifying the details of the buyer and the seller of this very CNC machine. Now, as far as this CNC machine is concerned, it is a very crucial and a significant machine which is used in technology, space technology, also in nuclear weapons as well. Now, North Korea is one of the country which also use this CNC machine in the nuclear weapon as well. And as this machine has a very significant role to play in such kind of a nuclear weapon, the consignment was stopped. Although the investigation is still underway, Shravan, and a report will be in fact given to the Ministry of Home Affairs, and following all the procedures concerning to this very case. Once these procedures are done, only then an official note will be issued by the intelligence agencies whether this consignment will be allowed to go or not. That is something that we have to look for, or is there anything really suspicious which will in fact impact the security of Indian borders and Indian space. That is something that we have to look out for.
Well, thank you very much, Sandeep, for getting us the latest details from security agencies who are looking into this matter very closely. Now, Pakistan has also in fact reacted to this entire battle. Let's just get a 30-second reaction coming in. Let me bring in my colleague Gursimran for what is it that Pakistanis have to say on this entire matter. In fact, there's a statement that has already been issued. Gursimran, just quickly take us through the statement that has been issued by the Pakistanis.
Sishawan, the Pakistan has rejected the claims. They have said that it was nothing that the Indian side is claiming, that it was not a dual-use material that was being pushed from the China to the Pakistani side. But this is a clear-cut violation of the international norms that the countries abide by when it comes to the control of dual-use material from one country to other. And the history of the Pakistan also hints towards same, because in 2022 we have seen that how autoclave was being sent from China to Pakistan, and that was used for the long-range missiles. And then we have seen the testing of Shaheen 2 took place. That was a 1500 kilometer range missile of Pakistan. And now coming to this incident, when the computer numerical control machine has been found, which is a dual use machine, and that was being sent from the China to the Pakistan. However, on the documents it has also already been surfaced that it was a forgery from the sender and the receiver, because as per the document it was to be sent from the Shanghai Global to the Pakistan wings that is based in Sialkot, but in reality it was being sent from the Chinese side to the Cosmos Engineering, which is one of the key supplier of the items to the Pakistani security forces as well. So that created a lot of doubt, and also the use of the CNC, which is a defense cutting technology that is being used by many countries. But when it comes to the nuclear, the North Korea has used it in the past as well, and that's why this is a real concern for the security agencies, that how the China and the Pakistan, they have been sharing this technology that can be detrimental to the international sovereignty. Shravan.
Well, thank you very much, Gursimran, for getting us the latest details. Shifting focus now to the investigation that's being carried out by the Enforcement Directorate in the liquor gate. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has, for the 8th time in a row, skipped his Enforcement Directorate summons in the Delhi excise policy case. Now, responding to the agency, Kejriwal requested a date after the 12th of March, where he says he would appear via video conferencing. In fact, the party says that he's willing to cooperate with the agency. Now, with the opposition slamming the Aam Aadmi Party over its non-cooperation in the case, how long will Kejriwal evade the Enforcement Directorate? Take a look at this report.
Arvind Kejriwal has skipped the 8th ED summon in the Delhi excise policy case.
मैंने कहा है भाई, मैं हमेशा मेरा स्टैंड ये रहा कि ईडी के जो सम्मन जो आ रहे हैं वो इलीगल हैं, लीगली इनवैलिड हैं। वो क्यों लीगली इनवैलिड हैं, वो लंबे मैंने चिट्ठी, कई पेज की चिट्ठी उनको लिख के भेजी है कि भाई क्यों लीगली इनवैलिड हैं। मेरे तो उसका उन्होंने कोई जवाब नहीं दिया, उनको जवाब देना चाहिए था।
Every time the Aam Aadmi Party chief is summoned, he has one line to say.
सच्चाई ये है कि किसी तरह का कोई भ्रष्टाचार हुआ ही नहीं। अगर होता तो पैसा भी मिलता। ऐसे फर्जी केस में आम आदमी पार्टी के कई नेताओं को इन्होंने अभी तक जेल में रखा हुआ है। मेरे वकीलों ने मुझे बताया कि ये समन गैर कानूनी है। क्यों गैर कानूनी है, ये मैंने इनको विस्तार से लिख के भेजा है। क्या मुझे एक गैर कानूनी समन का पालन करना चाहिए? इनका मकसद तो लोकसभा चुनाव में मुझे प्रचार करने से रोकना है। ठीक लोकसभा चुनाव के पहले इन्होंने मुझे समन भेजा है। क्यों?
Kejriwal has hit back at the Enforcement Directorate, alleging the summons were timed on Delhi Assembly budget session. AAP alleges it's a malicious attempt to arrest Arvind Kejriwal ahead of polls.
वैसे तो ईडी के सम्मन पूरी तरीके से गैरकानूनी है, कोर्ट में मामला चल रहा है, मगर मुख्यमंत्री जी ने कहा क्योंकि भारतीय जनता पार्टी के मंत्री, इनके प्रवक्ता बार बार कह रहे थे मुख्यमंत्री सवालों का जवाब नहीं देना चाहते। हम कह रहे थे कि मामला सवालों का नहीं है, मामला ये है कि ईडी मुख्यमंत्री को गैर कानूनी तौर पे गिरफ्तार करना चाहती है।
BJP has hit back at Kejriwal for taking law and order for a ride.
The fact of the matter is that ever since the summons have been sent, he has been making one after the other excuses. First a Vipassana excuse, then an excuse that he's busy in elections, then an excuse that it is a vendetta politics. If this was vendetta politics, why hasn't the court quashed the summons? Why hasn't the court stayed the summons? Why hasn't the court given relief to Manish Sisodia, Sanjay Singh, Vijay Nair, or in the case, why it has not quashed the case?
कोर्ट तय करेगा कि इलीगल है या आप खुद तय करेंगे? आपके घर में तय नहीं होगा कि इलीगल है कि इलीगल है। ये तो इसके लिए जो है वो एक कानूनी व्यवस्था है, एक न्यायिक व्यवस्था है, एक जुडिशियल सिस्टम है। अब उस जुडिशियल सिस्टम को भी आप हाईजैक करना चाहते हैं तो वो तो होता नहीं।
This is a very funny situation that Mr. Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party are trying to create. Someone who needs to cooperate with the investigation is setting terms of how the investigation should take place. As if he can sit down and say कि नहीं मुझे ऐसा करना है और in the investigation this question should be asked for me. That's not the case. One has to begin with the basics.
It's an outright defiance by Kejriwal. How long can the Delhi Chief Minister dodge questioning? Bureau Report, Republic TV.
On the other side, fresh CCTV tape of explosion emerges. Hunt to nab suspected bomber in Bengaluru blast case enters day 3.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university for the 11th year by India Today, a testimony to Amity's world-class education whilst imbibing values and sanskars in students.
somebody is owning as an elected representative in democracy a constituency for 40 years, imagine what it should have been by today. If this is what the gift they can give, I think it's enough that they take retirement now. धर्मो रक्षते रक्षितः 21 लाख वोटरों का जो आंसू आज तक बहते आया है, शायद उसका गूंज दिल्ली तक सुनाई दिया है, तो जंग का ऐलान कर दिए है। और मुझे ऐसा लगता है अब सही मायने में उनको न्याय होने वाला है। मदरसे में बच्चों को खाना नहीं मिलता है, मंदिरों को कब्जा होते रहता है। Erased the so-called comments and rumors that Asaduddin Bhai is their B2 team, their B team. So I think with this, they have very, very, very loudly, they have declared to tell that how much wholeheartedly they would want to win Old City as a seat, as a constituency. So I'm excited and thrilled that they have really done so much of justice towards the constituency, and they've given me such a golden opportunity to really work hard with complete passion and dedication. I'm thankful to them.
Ma'am, 40 years the Owaisi family has been ruling over the Hyderabad constituency. They have his Asaduddin's father Salahuddin has won the constituency, now Asad has won. Altogether a period of 40 years. So how do you think that you could, fight against the thing? Do you think that, what are the key aspects that you would want to raise in the constituency?
First of all, I would want to tell you that the biggest disadvantage that they run today is the kind of plight that have left the entire Old City constituency. In 40 years, what somebody can do is what Modi ji has proved as a chief minister in 25 years, and today in 2 terms he has proved what he can do as a prime minister. If somebody is owning as an elected representative in democracy a constituency for 40 years, imagine what it should have been by today. We all expect it to be somewhere as #1 constituency in the entire country. But today we see the plight of it as one of the worst constituencies, to the extent that it has been literally abandoned even as a constituency if it exists in this country. If this is what the gift they can give, I think it's enough that they take retirement now.
What do you promise to the constituents, ma'am? What is the promise from your side? What do you think is the one thing that is lacking in the...
Right to neighborhood. Everything that their neighborhood is enjoying. Everything that their neighborhood is enjoying. The roundabout constituencies that share the common boundaries with Old City as a constituency. The Old City constituency has nothing. If you want to take about the hygiene, no. Road sanitation, no. Education, no. Health, no. Poverty, yes. Child labor, yes. Early child marriages, yes. N number of kids with no facilities, yes. Destitute old people, yes. Demolitions, yes. Kabja, yes. Land grabbings, yes. Now you tell me, did he leave anything, anywhere? No education, no higher education. Nutrition is pathetic. Now you tell me, He has left entire big chart that I think some Somalia should really develop that place. You know, like, agar aap puchhenge, if you want to ask me that, what all should happen in Somalia? If somebody is owning, as an elected representative in democracy, a constituency for 40 years, imagine what it should have been by today. If this is what the gift they can give, I think it's enough that they take retirement now. धर्मो रक्षते रक्षितः 21 लाख वोटरों का जो आंसू आज तक बहते आया है, शायद उसका गूंज दिल्ली तक सुनाई दिया है, तो जंग का ऐलान कर दिए है। और मुझे ऐसा लगता है अब सही मायने में उनको न्याय होने वाला है। मदरसे में बच्चों को खाना नहीं मिलता है, मंदिरों को कब्जा होते रहता है।
Viewers, it's time for Superfast of Day. I'm Shivangi Shukla. Let's get started. PM Modi has reached Tamil Nadu. Addressing a rally, the Prime Minister took a swipe at DMK and said that DMK's motive was not to help poor people. He said that DMK did not help the people after the state was hit by a cyclone. PM Modi began his mega five-state visit from Telangana today. The Prime Minister will also be travelling to Tamil Nadu, Odisha, West Bengal and Bihar in the next 48 hours, during which he would lay the foundation stones of projects worth more than 1,10,600 crore rupees. PM Modi inaugurated multiple developmental projects worth 56,000 crore rupees in Hyderabad and said that the central government is working for the development of the people. The Prime Minister underlined that the modern rail and road projects of today would give momentum to the development of Telangana. He further added that it would increase tourism and create endless employment opportunities. While addressing the rally, PM talked about how the BJP has always worked for the development of tribals and that their government formed a separate ministry for tribal communities. A sharp retort to members of the opposition who made personal attacks on PM Modi, the Prime Minister said that his life is like an open book. He added that he will always continue to work for 140 crore Indians who are his family.
मेरा जीवन खुली किताब जैसा है। देश के कोटि-कोटि लोग मुझे अपना मानते हैं और इसलिए मैं कहता हूं 140 करोड़ देशवासी यही मेरा परिवार है।
Addressing a public rally during his visit to Telangana outreach, Prime Minister Narendra Modi hit out at the opposition who has called the event an electoral meeting. He said that since others were not used to working hard, they claimed all meetings as only political.
लोग आदत से मजबूर होते हैं, मेहनत करने की कुछ आदत भी कम होती है और इसलिए बड़ी सरल भाषा में कह देते हैं कि ये तो चुनावी सभा है।
PM Modi talked about his development plan for the nation and said that the government is moving with the mantra of nation's development through development of states. He also said that there is a global buzz around the high growth rate of the Indian economy. Telangana CM Revanth Reddy has said that PM Modi had always been like a big brother to him and that the state needed his support in order to ensure that it was developed like Gujarat. Jammu and Kashmir BJP President Ravindra Raina has confirmed that PM Modi would visit Srinagar on 7th of March. The state BJP chief said that the huge rally has been organized, which will see the attendance of nearly 2 lakh people. Union Home Minister Amit Shah, BJP National President JP Nadda and other party leaders changed their social media platforms X's bio in solidarity with PM Modi after RJD chief Lalu Yadav's jibe at the PM stating that he had no family. The BJP next Central Election Committee meeting will be held on March 8th in New Delhi. All top party leaders will be present for the big meet. Senior Congress MLA and former State Party Unit President Arjun Modwadia has resigned from the Congress. The MLA has now tendered his resignation to Gujarat Assembly Speaker Shankar Chaudhary in Gandhinagar. Sources say that he's likely to join the BJP. The Apex Court has pulled up Tamil Nadu Minister Udhayanidhi Stalin over his remarks on eradicating Sanatan Dharma while rejecting Stalin's lawyer's plea. The Supreme Court lambasted the minister, questioning the DMK leader's lawyer as to whether the Tamil Nadu minister knew about the consequences of his words. Delhi Chief Minister and Aam Aadmi Party Supremo Arvind Kejriwal has decided to appear before the Enforcement Directorate after March 12th with the excise policy case. He will appear via video conferencing. This comes in response to ED's 8th summons to Kejriwal. Atishi presents 76,000 crore rupees Delhi budget themed Ram Rajya. As she presented the budget, the Delhi Finance Minister Atishi said that people's lives have undergone a major change. Schools have improved and per capita income has gone up to 2 times as she presented the budget. Basuri Swaraj heralded the Aam Aadmi Party government over the Delhi budget, stating the Ram Rajya budget does not suit a government that is filled with corruption. She added that the state has nothing newer or innovative to offer the people.
एक सरकार जो सर से लेके पांव तक भ्रष्टाचार में डूबी हुई है, उसको राम राज्य का बजट पेश करने वाली बात शायद शोभा नहीं देती। अगर आप बजट देखें तो उसमें कुछ भी नया नहीं है, कुछ भी इनोवेटिव नहीं है, कुछ भी विकास के हित में नहीं है।
Supreme Court has granted the Aam Aadmi Party a reprieve until June 15th to vacate its political office premises. This decision comes amidst preparations for the upcoming general elections. The property in question was originally designated for the expansion of the district judiciary by the Delhi High Court. Amid a heated argument between Punjab CM Bhagwant Mann and Congress MLA and LOP Pratap Singh Bajwa in the State Assembly, CM Mann has challenged the Congress MLA to tell Sonia and Rahul to not give seats to the Aam Aadmi Party in the upcoming Lok Sabha polls. Himachal Pradesh CM Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu said that they are starting Indira Gandhi Pyari Behna Sukh Saman Nidhi Yojana today. He added that all the girls above 18 years of age will get rupees 18,000 per annum. The Indian Coast Guard is further strengthening its presence and assets in the strategically positioned Lakshadweep Islands in the Indian Ocean region of the ICJ. The ICG, in fact, is also planning to build an air enclave at the islands from where it would be able to keep an eye on the entire region nearby as well. Delhi High Court has rejected TMC leader Mahua Moitra's plea to restrain BJP MP Nishikant Dubey and Jay Anand Dehadrai from making defamatory allegations. Marking a massive leap in medical technology, the Ayush ICMR Advanced Centre for Integrated Health Research was launched earlier today at AIIMS. Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandaviya, who was present at the opening ceremony, called for joint research between departments to overcome limitations during medical research. Bengaluru police has detained BJP workers who were carrying out a Tiranga Yatra in Bengaluru. In fact, the workers were detained because they did not take permission from city administration before taking out the Yatra. A woman was killed in an elephant attack in Kerala's Idukki district. State Minister P. Rajiv said that it was an unfortunate incident. He added that this conflict between man and wild animals is increasing in Kerala and other parts of the country. 5 people of a family were killed after their car hit a truck parked on the roadside on National Highway 48 in Vadodara. Madhya Pradesh CM Mohan Yadav said that he felt blessed to seek blessings from Lord Ram. He added that he prayed to Lord Ram to shower his blessings on everyone. CGI DY Chandrachud, along with his family and other judges of the Supreme Court, with their families visited the Rashtrapati Bhavan to meet President Draupadi Murmu. Indian national travelling from Dubai to Mumbai was intercepted at the airport. 24-carat gold jewellery, rhodium-plated coins, cut pieces of wire, collectively weighing around 215 grams, and 2 iPhones were recovered. Union Minister and Telangana BJP President G. Kishan Reddy laid the foundation stone of Science Experience Centre and said that this will create awareness among the new generation. He added that Science Experience Centre will be open within 2 years. 2 Israeli strikes on Deir al-Balah in central Gaza killed at least 5 people and destroyed an aid truck. According to the Palestinian Red Crescent Society, the first strike was by an Israeli drone that killed 5 and injured 4 other civilians. Israel's military claimed that its troops have eliminated more than 100 Hamas terrorists in the Gaza Strip during an operation. The army also said that dozens of terrorists were arrested after forces located and destroyed launch pads. Residents of Rafah and members of the emergency services rushed to buildings hit by 2 strikes to rescue people. Buried underneath the rubble, at least 3 people, including a child, were rescued. However, authorities are yet to find several others who are reportedly missing. Israel's chief military spokesperson said that it concluded an initial review after more than 100 people were killed in the Gaza Strip while seeking aid. He added that no strike was carried out by the IDF towards the aid convoy and that civilians were killed as a result of a stampede. Several Palestinians have shifted to southern Wadi Gaza region in search of food and shelter. This comes weeks after the northern Gaza Strip was left with scanty amounts of food and aid in the aftermath of Israeli strikes and heavy shelling. At least 12 people were killed, including 5 women and 2 children, in an Israeli strike which targeted residential building in a refugee camp. Those killed and injured were taken to Al-Aqsa Hospital, which stands overwhelmed with civilian casualties and lack of medical supplies. Senior Hamas official said that the war will continue as well during the Ramadan period. He added that whoever wants to be a mediator must mediate to stop the aggression and not mediate to prevent support against this aggression. Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan said that he hoped to secure a ceasefire in Gaza before Ramadan. He added that the need to end human suffering in Gaza will be the central issue of the Antalya Diplomacy Forum. US Vice President Kamala Harris said that the Biden administration will call for Hamas to agree to a hostage deal that would lead to a temporary ceasefire in Gaza for 6 weeks. She added that given the humanitarian crisis that currently plagues Gaza, a peace solution must be negotiated. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and his Malaysian counterpart Anwar Ibrahim have met in Melbourne with both leaders calling for a ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas war. Both premiers agree to urgent need for a humanitarian call to stop the uproot of civilian life in Gaza. A spokesperson for the China's National People's Congress said at the eve of the opening of the annual session of the legislature that Premier Li Qiang would not hold a news conference after the meeting as it has been customary earlier. Iran's hardliners have now won the majority of the seats in the capital Tehran, as announced by Iran's Interior Ministry following a record low turnout in the parliamentary election. Finally notching her first 2024 primary win with the victory in Washington, D.C., Nikki Haley continues crisscrossing the country. Former President Donald Trump has dominated the race, leaving Haley, his one-time UN ambassador and last remaining rivals, struggling to keep up. 4 astronauts are headed to the International Space Station, where they will oversee the arrivals of 2 new rocket ships during their half-year stint. Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz President Shehbaz Sharif took oath as the 24th Prime Minister of Pakistan. President Arif Alvi administered the oath to Shehbaz Sharif. Russian Supreme Court rejected a liberal politician's appeal against his removal from presidential race. The court rejected his appeal against the Central Election Commission's decision, which had barred him from the March 15 to 17 presidential elections. 6 alleged Islamic State group members were killed in a counter-terrorism operation in Russia's North Caucasus region. And the country's National Anti-Terrorism Committee claimed that security services found automatic weapons, ammunition, hand grenades and homemade explosives inside the apartment. Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong warned that the risk of conflict in the Indo-Pacific as she prepared to meet her British counterpart for defence talks and is likely to focus on regional issues, including China's military expansion. At least 3 were dead after hundreds of inmates fled Haiti's main prison when armed gangs stormed the facility. This jail represents a worsening situation in Haiti's escalating violence. Meanwhile, Prime Minister has Ariel Henry's abroad seeking backing for a United Nations supported security force to restore stability in the country. And the ASEAN-Australia Special Summit that starts in Melbourne on Monday marks 50 years since Australia became the first official partner of the Asian bloc. Leaders of 9 of the 10 Association of Southeast Asian Nations are expected to attend the 3-day summit with Myanmar.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university for the 11th year by India Today, a testimony to Amity's world-class education whilst imbibing values and sanskars in students.
If somebody is owning as an elected representative in democracy a constituency for 40 years, imagine what it should have been by today. If this is what the gift they can give, I think it's enough that they take retirement now. धर्मो रक्षते रक्षितः 21 लाख वोटरों का जो आंसू आज तक बहते आया है, शायद उसका गूंज दिल्ली तक सुनाई दिया है, तो जंग का ऐलान कर दिए है। और मुझे ऐसा लगता है अब सही मायने में उनको न्याय होने वाला है। मदरसे में बच्चों को खाना नहीं मिलता है, मंदिरों को कब्जा होते रहता है। Erased the so-called comments and rumors that Asaduddin Bhai is their B2 team, their B team. So I think with this, they have very, very, very loudly, they have declared to tell that how much wholeheartedly they would want to win Old City as a seat, as a constituency. So I'm excited and thrilled that they have really done so much of justice towards the constituency, and they've given me such a golden opportunity to really work hard with complete passion and dedication. I'm thankful to them.
Ma'am, 40 years the Owaisi family has been ruling over the Hyderabad constituency. They have his Asad's father Salahuddin has won the constituency, now Asad has won. Altogether a period of 40 years. So how do you think that you could, fight against the thing? Do you think that, what are the key aspects that you would want to raise in the constituency?
First of all, I would want to tell you that the biggest disadvantage that they run today is the kind of plight that have left the entire Old City constituency. In 40 years, what somebody can do is what Modi ji has proved as a chief minister in 25 years, and today in 2 terms he has proved what he can do as a prime minister. If somebody is owning as an elected representative in democracy a constituency for 40 years, imagine what it should have been by today. We all expect it to be somewhere as #1 constituency in the entire country. But today we see the plight of it as one of the worst constituencies, to the extent that it has been literally abandoned even as a constituency if it exists in this country. If this is what the gift they can give, I think it's enough that they take retirement now.
What do you promise to the constituents, ma'am? What is the promise from your side? What do you think is the one thing that is lacking in the...
Right to neighborhood. Everything that their neighborhood is enjoying. Everything that their neighborhood is enjoying. The roundabout constituencies that share the common boundaries with Old City as a constituency. The Old City constituency has nothing. If you want to take about the hygiene, no. Road sanitation, no. Education, no. Health, no. Poverty, yes. Child labor, yes. Early child marriages, yes. N number of kids with no facilities, yes. Destitute old people, yes. Demolitions, yes. Kabja, yes. Land grabbings, yes. Now you tell me, did he leave anything?
Welcome back, viewers. We continue getting your top updates. Our next story. Jammu-based gangster Rajesh Dogra was shot dead by at least 4 men in Mohali earlier today. The miscreants arrived in 2 vehicles, gunned down the gangster and fled from the scene. Mohali SSP has assured strict action against the accused. More details in our next report.
देखो जी हुणे ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਨਸੀਡੈਂਟ ਹੋਇਆ ਇੱਕ ਅਨਫੋਰਚੂਨੇਟ ਇਨਸੀਡੈਂਟ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ 에어ਪੋਰਟ ਰੋਡ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਗੋਲੀਆਂ ਮਾਰ ਕੇ ਉਹਦੀ ਮੌਕੇ ਤੇ ਹੀ ਡੈਥ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਐਜ਼ ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹਦੀ ਡਾਕੂਮੈਂਟਸ ਐਂਡ ਡਿਟੇਲਸ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਮਿਲੀਆਂ ਇੱਕ ਰਾਜੇਸ਼ ਡੋਗਰਾ ਨਾਮ ਦਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਜੰਮੂ ਦਾ ਰਹਿਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਹੈ ਐਜ਼ ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਧਾਰ ਕਾਰਡ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਡਿਟੇਲਸ ਮਿਲੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਇਹ 'ਚ 2 ਗੱਡੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕੁਝ ਅਨਨੋਨ 4-5 ਬੰਦੇ ਆਏ ਸੀਗੇ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਆ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਹ ਸ਼ੂਟਿੰਗ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਇਨਸੀਡੈਂਟ ਨੂੰ ਅੰਜਾਮ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਤੇ ਇਹ 'ਚ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਟੀਮਾਂ ਇਮੀਡੀਏਟਲੀ ਐਕਟੀਵੇਟ ਹੋ ਗਈਆਂ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਲੀਡਸ ਵੀ ਕਾਫੀ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗੀ ਤੇ ਛੇਤੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਇਹ ਟ੍ਰੇਸ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਤੇ ਸਖਤ ਤੋਂ ਸਖਤ ਕਾਰਵਾਈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੋਲੀ ਚਲਾਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਸੀ ਜਾਂ ਅੰਦਰ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਮੌਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੌਲ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਨੂੰ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਗੋਲੀ ਚਲਾਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਸੀ ਇਹ 4 ਤੋਂ 5 ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਫਿਲਹਾਲ ਦੱਸੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਸ਼ਾਟ ਮਿਲੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਕਿੰਨੀਆਂ ਹਿੱਟ ਹੋਈਆਂ ਇਹ ਕਰੀਬ 10 ਦੇ ਆਸ-ਪਾਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਰਾਉਂਡ ਦੀ ਆਸ਼ੰਕਾ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਬਾਕੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਡਿਟੇਲ ਸਾਰੀ ਫੋਰੈਂਸਿਕ ਟੀਮ ਸਾਡੀ ਮੌਕੇ ਤੇ ਆ ਗਈ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਸਾਰੀ ਡਿਟੇਲ ਚ ਇਹਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਨਵੈਸਟੀਗੇਸ਼ਨ ਉਹ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਸਰ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਇਹਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ 1-2 ਸਾਥੀ ਸੀਗੇ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਡਿਟੇਲ ਕੁਝ ਇੱਧਰ ਉੱਧਰ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਪਰ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਆਇਡੈਂਟੀਫਾਈ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਡਿਟੇਲ ਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪੁੱਛਾਂਗੇ ਕਿ ਕੀ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕੋਈ ਦੁਸ਼ਮਣੀ ਵਾਲੀ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਪਰਸਨਲ ਐਨੀਮਿਟੀ ਵਾਲੀ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਹੈ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਬੰਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਜੰਮੂ ਦਾ ਰਹਿਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਜੋ ਐਸ ਪਰ ਡਾਕੂਮੈਂਟ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਕੋਈ ਲੋਕਲ ਲੀਡਰ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਿਕਲਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਹਜੇ ਤਾਂ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੁਣੇ ਇਨਸੀਡੈਂਟ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਥੋੜੀ ਦੇਰ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੱਡੀਆਂ ਆਈਆਂ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨੰਬਰ ਨੇ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਹੋਰ ਨੰਬਰ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਇੱਕ JNK ਨੰਬਰ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਚੰਡੀਗੜ੍ਹ ਨੰਬਰ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੀ ਵੀ ਡਿਟੇਲਸ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇੱਕ ਜੰਮੂ ਨੰਬਰ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਹਾਂਜੀ
The afternoon hours when Rajesh Dogra alias Mohan Cheer, who was in Mohali, was shot dead when he was fired upon by 4 to 5 gunmen that came in 2 vehicles. As per the information that has come from the Punjab police, 2 vehicles, one of which is said to be Scorpio, 4 to 5 person came and they opened fire.
Jain friends, I'm Major Gauravari and you're watching the latest news of the day. Now, a group of congressmen have approached President Joe Biden, the White House, and they have this huge letter with a lot of signatures in them. I think 30-odd people have signed it, and they are putting pressure, and these are Democrats, by the way, putting pressure on Joe Biden's government, asking him not to recognize the new government, which is shortly to be inaugurated in Pakistan. They say that this government is not an apt and a true reflection of the will of the Pakistani people. They say that there has been massive corruption in the election. They're saying that the election has been stolen per se, and they're saying that, you know, the ballot papers were taken out, torn, fresh ballot papers were put in with different stamps and signatures, etc. And candidates who were losing were made to win, and the candidates who were winning were made to lose. Essentially what they are saying is that Imran Khan was supposed to become the Prime Minister of Pakistan. However, somebody else is going to take over as Prime Minister, and Imran Khan remains in jail. Now, what is this new love affair of Americans with democracy in Pakistan? This is absolutely new. Let me also say that Americans have flirted with democracy all over the world with disastrous results. They have literally wiped out governments in South America, in Africa, in Asia, all for this cause of democracy. That is why they said they were in the Middle East. And you know what's happening in the Middle East. A lot of that has to do with American interference. Though there are radicalized elements in the Middle East, but America is also to be blamed. Let me give you a small example before I proceed further. When 9/11 happened and Osama bin Laden ordered those attacks on America, out of 19 hijackers, 15 were from Saudi Arabia. You heard that right, out of 19 hijackers, 15 were Saudi citizens. But America attacked Iraq. Iraq, which had nothing to do. Iraq did not even know that the attacks were taking place. And Iraq was wiped out. The Americans occupied Afghanistan for 20 long years. And Afghanistan had very little to do with 9/11. Somehow, Osama bin Laden had managed to make a base in Afghanistan. Apart from that, Afghanistan had no idea. Now, let me come back to the point, ladies and gentlemen. The American establishment, whether it's the Pentagon, the State Department, the CIA, they've had a very long and a lovely relationship with the dictators in Pakistan. You know, whether it was General Ayub, whether it was General Yahya Khan, or Ziaul Haq, or Pervez Musharraf, all of them. I mean, you had American secretaries walking into the army chief's residence. They were like family friends. And they did a lot of bad in this part of the world. Let's start with Ayub Khan. Ayub Khan was possibly the first dictator of Pakistan, army chief, dictator, president. And he was the one who actually started putting Pakistan firmly in the American bloc. This was in the works ever since Pakistan came into being, right from the early 50s. But it was formalized, actually formalized under Ayub Khan. And Ayub Khan wrote that famous book, Friends Not Masters. And one must read that book to find out the level of American involvement in Pakistan. And then there came Yahya Khan, best of friends with the US president. After that, you had Ziaul Haq, who changed the entire political and military landscape, the social landscape of Pakistan. He was the one who trained Mujahideen in the madrasas of Pakistan. He was the one who said, let us send these holy warriors into Afghanistan to fight the Russians. But he had no backup plan. The Americans had no backup plan. One day the Americans left and Pakistan was left high and dry. This hurt Pakistan, and they said that America has backstabbed them. But this thing happened again after 9/11. And this time there was another dictator sitting in the chair, and his name was General Pervez Musharraf. General Pervez Musharraf took $35 billion from the Americans, 35 billion US dollars from the Americans, and he opened a route right from Bin Qasim port to the border of Afghanistan through Torkham. And the entire war on terror for 20 years was supplied. You talk about arms, ammunition, clothes, food, everything was supplied via Pakistan. They would come in big shipping containers from the United States of America and then be shipped through this route all the way into Afghanistan. America was responsible for thousands of deaths inside Pakistan through drone strikes. And the best part is that the guy who ordered those drone strikes, the guy who ordered the killing of thousands of people, got the Nobel Peace Prize. I'm talking about President Barack Obama. Now, coming back to the American involvement in democracy in Pakistan, the reason why the Americans are worried today is the fact that Imran Khan is in prison. Imran Khan was the person who stopped the China-Pakistan economic corridor. Imran Khan was the person who said, get the papers out, I want to see what you have signed up for. Imran Khan was the person who said, you have taken a loan from the Chinese. At what rate of interest? Imran Khan was the one who said, what is the ROI on this project? I mean, a road is being created. A Chinese company is creating that road. It is funded by the Chinese. The labor is Chinese. The raw material is Chinese. It is going to be used by the Chinese. And in the long term, Pakistan is going to pay for it. And Imran Khan asked very uncomfortable questions. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, Imran Khan may think that the Americans were responsible for removing him.
Ladies and gentlemen, Republic Media Network's annual summit is scheduled for the 7th of March in the national capital. Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi will deliver the keynote address. Now, his presence is the highlight of this year's event, which is on the theme Bharat, the next decade. We're also extremely happy to share that Honorable Home Minister Amit Shah and Honorable Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will be the keynote speakers at the summit. This is not all. ISRO Chief Dr. S. Somanath and Infosys founder Narayan Murthy are also likely to grace the event. Stand by for Bharat's biggest news event as the countdown has now begun.
आज पूरा देश एक सुर में कह रहा है, मैं हूं मोदी का परिवार, मैंने मोदी कुटुंबम.
Prime Minister gives it back to Lalu Prasad Yadav after no family attack. Says crores of Indians are his family. BJP ups the ante against India over insult, launches Modi Ka Parivar campaign on social media now. No immunity for MPs and MLAs for bribery. Top court overrules a verdict in 1998 Narasimha Rao case. Prime Minister hails a verdict. Fresh CCTV tape of explosion emerges. Hunt to nab a suspected bomber in Bengaluru blast case enters day 3. Under scanner for Liquorgate, Kejriwal skips a summons for an 8th time, calls ED probe illegal. BJP hits back. India intercepts Pakistan-bound ship for transporting nuclear cargo. Pakistan calls it violation of international norms. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has, for the 8th time in a row, skipped his ED summons in the Delhi excise policy. Responding to the agency, Kejriwal requested a date after 12th of March, where he says he will appear via video conferencing. Now, with the opposition slamming the Aam Aadmi Party over its non-cooperation in the case, how long will Kejriwal evade the enforcement directive? This especially comes from a party chief who's all his life, perhaps his public life, largely spoken about corruption cases and the fact that probity should be maintained in public life. But when he himself is faced with certain allegations, it appears that he's found multiple ways to evade them. Some excuses that have largely been given for why he believes that the summons that have been sent out by the enforcement directorate are illegal in nature. Take a look at this report and then we begin the burning question.
Arvind Kejriwal has skipped the 8th ED summon in the Delhi excise policy case.
मैंने कहा है भाई, मैं हमेशा मेरा स्टैंड ये रहा कि ईडी के जो सम्मन जो आ रहे हैं वो इलीगल हैं, लीगली इनवैलिड हैं. वो क्यों लीगली इनवैलिड हैं, वो लंबे लंबे मैंने चिट्ठी, कई पेज की चिट्ठी उनको लिख के भेजी है कि भाई क्यों लीगली इनवैलिड हैं. मेरे तो उसका उन्होंने कोई जवाब नहीं दिया. उनको जवाब देना चाहिए था.
Every time the Aam Aadmi Party chief is summoned, he has one line to say.
सच्चाई ये है कि किसी तरह का कोई भ्रष्टाचार हुआ ही नहीं. अगर होता तो पैसा भी मिलता. ऐसे फर्जी केस में आम आदमी पार्टी के कई नेताओं को इन्होंने अभी तक जेल में रखा हुआ है। मेरे वकीलों ने मुझे बताया कि ये समन गैर कानूनी है। क्यों गैर कानूनी है, ये मैंने इनको विस्तार से लिख के भेजा है। क्या मुझे एक गैर कानूनी समन का पालन करना चाहिए? इनका मकसद तो लोकसभा चुनाव में मुझे प्रचार करने से रोकना है। ठीक लोकसभा चुनाव के पहले इन्होंने मुझे समन भेजा है। क्यों?
Kejriwal has hit back at the Enforcement Directorate, alleging the summons were timed on Delhi Assembly budget session. AAP alleges it's a malicious attempt to arrest Arvind Kejriwal ahead of polls.
वैसे तो ईडी के सम्मन पूरी तरीके से गैरकानूनी है, कोर्ट में मामला चल रहा है, मगर मुख्यमंत्री जी ने कहा क्योंकि भारतीय जनता पार्टी के मंत्री, इनके प्रवक्ता बार बार कह रहे थे मुख्यमंत्री सवालों का जवाब नहीं देना चाहते। हम कह रहे थे कि मामला सवालों का नहीं है, मामला ये है कि ईडी मुख्यमंत्री को गैर कानूनी तौर पे गिरफ्तार करना चाहती है।
BJP has hit back at Kejriwal for taking law and order for a ride.
The fact of the matter is that ever since the summons have been sent, he has been making one after the other excuses. First a Vipassana excuse, then an excuse that he's busy in elections, then an excuse that it is a vendetta politics. If this was vendetta politics, why hasn't the court quashed the summons? Why hasn't the court stayed the summons? Why hasn't the court given relief to Manish Sisodia, Sanjay Singh, Vijay Nair, or in the case, why it has not quashed the case?
कोर्ट तय करेगा कि इलीगल है या आप खुद तय करेंगे। आपके घर में तय नहीं होगा कि इलीगल है कि इलीगल है। ये तो इसके लिए जो है वो एक कानूनी व्यवस्था है, एक न्यायिक व्यवस्था है, एक जुडिशियल सिस्टम है। अब उस जुडिशियल सिस्टम को भी आप हाईजेक करना चाहते हैं तो वो तो होता नहीं।
This is a very funny situation that Mr. Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party are trying to create. Someone who needs to cooperate with the investigation is setting terms of how the investigation should take place. As if he can sit down and say कि नहीं मुझे ऐसा करना है और in the investigation this question should be asked for me. That's not the case. One has to begin with the basics.
It's an outright defiance by Kejriwal. How long can the Delhi Chief Minister dodge questioning? Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Joining us on the burning question tonight, Pratyush Kant, spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Binay Singh, political analyst, Nikhil Jain, political analyst leaning towards the Congress, Ravi Srivastava, political analyst leaning towards the Aam Aadmi Party. Opening up the debate tonight, Ravi Srivastava and Pratyush Kant. First to you, Ravi Srivastava, can you please tell me, how do you exactly define on your own that a summon that has been sent out by a federal agency is illegal in nature? Who exactly gives a person the right to describe any summons sent out to them under the provisions of a particular act as illegal?
Arvind Kejriwal has been an IRS officer for a number of years, and he has a strong team of the advocates who is appearing on behalf of him or advising him. Kejriwal has given long answers. You have just shown the report that he has given everything well defined, explained to the ED. That why these summons are illegal. Some things are already in public domain. That in what capacity ED is calling? Is he an accused? Is he a witness? Is he a complicit? Is he a
let me just
criminal?
quickly explain
What
this
is
to
he?
you.
Why he has been called? Now, calling him is a prerogative of the ED. So he has said, after 12th March, I am prepared to reply you because Aam Aadmi Party believes in the full transparency.
Okay.
They don't want to
Ravi
do the kind
Srivastava,
of things which
now,
BJP does
just
behind
a quick
the curtain.
fact check for you.
That, they want to hide something or something like that. He wants that, let it be even video casted. He will reply the questions.
When you actually
whatever
were
he wants to
arresting,
ask, there
please
should be
tell me
some kind of a transparency.
In the state
as
of
well.
Punjab,
You only
in the
want
state
to
of Punjab,
deprive him from
in the state of Punjab, Ravi Srivastava, in the state of Punjab,
for Lok Sabha.
Hear me out. In the state of Punjab, when you arrested a Congress leader, did the Congress leader then say that this arrest is actually illegal in nature, or the fact that the legislator was not even given the opportunity to put across his point. Now, as far as this particular case goes, number one, he hasn't responded to the Enforcement Directorate. The long answers are not long answers to questions pertaining to the liquor gate, but rather he says that, look here, I decide that I'm not going to come before the agency in personal capacity, but I'm going to appear through video conferencing. Now imagine if everyone was actually given this particular liberty, then how exactly do you expect a federal agency to carry on with their job? And what bizarre argument is this, that I will decide how I want to come?
Everyone is not a chief minister of a state. A chief minister of a state has got hundreds of responsibilities. He has to present a budget.
The chief minister of the state does not have any immunity.
Where the candidates are standing for the party. It is India's third biggest party, the Aam Aadmi Party. He has got responsibilities. He has got 161 MLAs across the various assemblies. He has got 1 Lok Sabha and 10 Rajya Sabha members. He is an important person. Whatever you want to ask, the video conferencing is a very fair idea. You know, whatever you
important,
can ask him,
so that gives him the
because a video conference is not a private.
He has the liberty to just simply evade legally bound, but yet he chooses not to respond to a single summon that has been sent. Pratyush Kant of the BJP coming in. Pratyush, the allegation that has been leveled against you is okay. Now that the best part is that you're not even waiting for the court to quash the summons or the ECIR that has been registered. You've not even moved the court. Forget about court taking any action. You've not even. The laughable part is this, that you have Arvind Kejriwal, unlike in the case of Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren, who had moved the court, who was hoping for some sort of a relief, but that relief was never granted. Arvind Kejriwal hasn't really done anything of that sort. But Pratyush Kant, the allegation that has been leveled against the Bharatiya Janata Party is that you are basically using the Enforcement Directorate so that you prevent Arvind Kejriwal from participating in the election process.
If your case is in the court of law, if an investigating agency is investigating the case, where does BJP figure in the whole thing? Now, if you are involved in a scam, you make money, the case goes to a Supreme Court judge, the senior most honorable Supreme Court judge, and he sees those documents and says, I can see a clear link of money exchanging hands. Now, those documents which an honorable judge sees, we are not privy to that. We are not seeing those documents. It is between the agency and the court. Now, if we go by what Arvind Kejriwal is saying, he wants to set up a whole new constitutional system in this country. What he's trying to do is to sabotage the system here. You see, there is a laid rule of law, which has to be followed. Now, Arvind Kejriwal cannot come and dictate that how an agency in this country should function. It has been functioning for years together. Since independence, the whole system has been brought into place. He has just become a chief minister a decade ago. The question, what stares at us, and every Indian is shocked and baffled, that here is a guy who was a government servant. He knows the rule of the law very well, but he's also aware of the fact that he's so deeply involved in the scam. He's trying to just wriggle out and buy time. He has to understand one thing, and he knows better than many of us here that when the case happened in Tamil Nadu, 5 government officials were involved in sand mining case. ED notice was sent to them. When the notice was sent to them, they moved the High Court. They got a stay from the High Court. The government moved to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court clearly gave a judgment that no, you have to go and join because ED summons, this is how this country functions. Another case, Justice Bela Trivedi and Justice Pankaj Mittal of the Supreme Court, the highest court of the country, the apex court of the country. In PMLA case, they said, if you get a summon from ED, you have to go and appear there. These are the laws not being made by us, you and me. These are the laws of the land that have been established by the apex court of this country. Now here is Arvind Kejriwal, who is telling that no, he is going to decide how the government is going to function in this country, how the investigating agency is going to function in this country, how the judiciary is going to function in this country. Tomorrow he will tell us, High Court summon, that no, I will not come. You please reply. Have you read one of his replies which he has written? You please explain to me that why you are calling me. Tell me why I am being called. Tomorrow you will ask an honorable judge. You please explain to me why you are calling me. No, I am not happy with your judgment. This is not how it is done. Sir, we are not living in a banana republic. This is India, the fifth largest economy, the most growing country in the world. Everybody is looking at us. Please? And for one, Arvind Kejriwal, don't disturb. I never disturb anyone.
Okay.
For one, Arvind Kejriwal,
why
the Supreme Court of India,
time should be given,
why
all the time should be given to you only, sir?
If you are going to interrupt me, I'm going to interrupt you. Just have patience. Listen to me. We are talking serious.
Okay,
this is a serious channel.
Let me tell you,
this is a serious channel.
There was a judge who has resigned and just joined the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Ravi Srivastava.
This is the condition of the judiciary.
Ravi Srivastava, can I make this very clear? Now, casting doubts at the judiciary. Now, the problem is this, Ravi Srivastava. You don't have 1 minute. Mr. Kant, just hold on. Mr. Kant, just hold on. 1 minute. Mr. Kant, just hold on 1 second. Ravi Srivastava, 1 minute. Hold on. Mr. Pratyush Kant, Ravi Srivastava, please hear me out. There's no point continuing with this slugfest between both of you. Ravi Srivastava, you seem to have no faith in the judiciary. You will cast doubts about verdicts that have already been passed.
I have never said I have no faith in judiciary.
The question here is very simple.
I have quoted only certain examples.
Answer my question. Has any court quashed the FIR that has been registered? Has any court quashed the FIR that was registered by the Central Bureau of Investigation?
What evidence you have got?
Now, can you please tell me one thing? Ravi Srivastava, a simple question, a direct question that has been asked to you. Has any court quashed the case that was registered by the Central Bureau of Investigation, then followed up by the Enforcement Directorate?
See, this is what the agencies are unleashed. This is how you kill your opposition. That is how
now
the 95% cases are made against the opposition. And that is how the people joining the BJP go into the washing machine and the cases are stopped.
You have to answer the questions here which has been raised by Supreme Court judges.
The Honorable ED said that the case file is missing.
You have to answer those questions.
Okay, both of you. Both of you. Ravi Srivastava and Pratyush Kant, speaking over each other is not going to make any sense. You both are not making any sense right now.
Next day.
Both of you. Pull back.
What kind of cleaning is this?
Ravi Srivastava.
They don't enter those who refuse to enter the BJP washing machine.
You didn't answer my question.
No problem.
Okay, let me take this to Nikhil Jain also. Ravi, I'll come back to you. I'll take this question to Nikhil Jain also, because Nikhil Jain faces the same predicament. Just like Arvind Kejriwal, his leaders also are facing corruption charges. Some are now out on bail. Now, Nikhil Jain, please tell me this. While few of the Congress leaders came out in full support of Arvind Kejriwal, of course, they do realize that, Sonia Gandhi, when she was called in for questioning, Rahul Gandhi, when he was called in for questioning, not many people had come in full support. But the fact of the matter is this, that when the court hasn't quashed, when the court hasn't even given any sort of relief to any of these leaders that we're talking about, how exactly do you really say that they've been unleashed, that they have been unfair?
Shravan, the thing is that the ED is giving aids to Arvind Kejriwal. He's not going, and yet they are not going to the court to get an arrest warrant against him. The fact of the matter is that the ED not going to the court to get an arrest warrant against Mr. Kejriwal
he has already, Nikhil,
points to the fact that the ED does not have a substantial case against the man. I'm not saying that
Nikhil, it's very surprising that
Shravan, you don't interrupt
as a lawyer,
the BJP panelists. Please,
Nikhil, as a lawyer too, I find it very surprising. I find it, one second, Nikhil. No, one second, Nikhil. Please let me speak. No, one second. I'll let you speak. No, 1 second, Nikhil. Don't. 1 second, Nikhil. Don't cry horse. 1 minute. That's because you're factually wrong. The Enforcement Directorate has already moved the court. So much so the court had asked Arvind Kejriwal to appear. But what happened? Arvind Kejriwal then said that I'm busy right now. I'm not going to come. So he's now been summoned by the court also on the 16th of March. So get your facts correct. If you have so much of problem that you're being interrupted, at least get your facts correct.
The point is that this is not a court summons that he's skipping. He's skipping the summons of an investigative agency. If the investigative agency really has a very good case against him, let him get an arrest warrant issued from the court. The fact of the matter is that when you're talking about the fact that this FIR has not been quashed, it is simply this does not show the direct complicity of Mr. Kejriwal in the case. There may have been a scam, there may not have been a scam. That is a matter of investigation. I'm not going to make a comment on that. But so far as Mr. Kejriwal is concerned, it shows the lack of evidence with the ED against that particular man. And also the very mysterious question is he a witness? Is he an accomplice? Is he the primary accused? In what capacity is the Chief Minister of a state being called? On that note, let me remind your viewers of an incident from 2010 when a sitting Chief Minister of a state skipped the summons of an SIT, Special Investigative Team, appointed by the Supreme Court. His name was Narendra Modi, the Gujarat Chief Minister, when he was being summoned in the Gujarat riots case. And on the topic of summons and the politicization of the ED and it being used as a hunt dog against the opposition leaders. Why is Ajit Pawar not being called by the ED? The same ED that was seeking custody, police custody for him. Why are they not issuing summons to him now? And the proof of the pudding is in the words of Meenakshi Lekhi, the New Delhi Member of Parliament, who on the floor of the House in the Lok Sabha said to an opposition leader who was interrupting her while she was speaking, "Baith jaiye, warna aapke ghar bhi ED aa jayegi." Shravan, let's not bury our heads in the sand like an ostrich. We all know what the ED is doing right now. So far as opposition leaders not getting a bail from the court is concerned, let me make it very clear to your viewers that in the PMLA amendment that this government brought out in 2019 or 20, the burden of proof is now on the accused as against criminal cases where it is on the prosecution. The accused is deemed to be guilty until proven innocent by himself. He's not given proper documents. This is complete contravention of criminal jurisprudence. I know that the opposition leaders went to the court and the court did not agree with it. But of course, court judgments can be reversed. And what is happening with the ED right now is an extreme politicization of it, whether summons are issued to Kejriwal, to Sonia Gandhi or anybody.
So the point is that according to Nikhil Jain, that opposition parties, if at all they indulge in corruption and the name surfaces during any corruption cases, they should simply not be called in for questioning. Because according to Nikhil Jain and Ravi Srivastava, these are agencies not worth carrying out any investigation. And these are, as they say, heavily politicized investigative agencies. I do not understand on what basis do they really come to this sort of a conclusion when most of these cases, let me just remind you, Nikhil Jain, some of these cases that were being probed, not the liquor scam particularly, but some of the cases in which your leaders, your beloved leaders are now under the scanner. These are ones which were registered even during the UPA time. So it has been continued. But the fact of the matter is that none of them actually went to the court to get any sort of relief because the court never gave them any relief to begin with. Binay, to bring you in, you've heard both Ravi Srivastava as well as Nikhil Jain.
Shravan, the question is that do you have the right, anyone have the right to skip ED summons? The political answer may be yes and no. But the legal answer is that you don't have any right to skip ED summons, either once or repeatedly. Because if you are skipping ED summons, that amounts to non-cooperation. That may not be a ground of your arrest, that may not lead to arrest, but it may become a ground for your arrest. So every time Mr. Kejriwal is dodging ED summons, he is very, coming close to an arrest. Because we have seen last month what happened in Jharkhand, the Hemant Soren government, Hemant Soren, he did the same thing. He was having the same modus operandi. And why I said the same modus operandi? Because I am very sure that Mr. Kejriwal and Mr. Hemant Soren, both of them are having the same set of advisors. So they are advising them in the same way. And you can see what happened to Hemant Soren. So many times you are evading ED summons, you are dishonoring summons. And remember one thing, that summon is just not a piece of paper. That piece of paper, which is called summon, has a judicial value. And you cannot and no one can skip it and scrap it. And Hemant Soren, I say that is a recent example. And In very recently, you can see on 20th February, the Supreme Court of India said in a hearing that ED has the right to summon anyone, any high level bureaucrats, any politician. So this is not the question that ED can summon you or not, and you are supposed to appear or not. You cannot change the law. Not appearing for the ED summons is like dishonoring the law. And Shravan, in case of Kejriwal, in case of Hemant Soren, in case of Manish Sisodia and Satyendra Jain, many times they have attempted for bail. And you know what the court said? The court said in many cases that there are ample proof, so we cannot give them bail. And the last point, that without even summoning, giving summons, ED has the right to arrest. So if they want to arrest, Kejriwal, there is no need of summon also. If there are ample proof and the ED feels that, they can convince the court that there is ample proof and, leaving the accused outside is harmful, he can destroy evidence. Without even summoning, ED has the right to arrest. So don't challenge the right of the ED.
They don't have ample proof.
And on part of you, if you are, you are a CM or you are anyone,
that proves that they don't have the ample proof.
The immunity, and you will have to appear in the ED court. You will have to face, the questions. You will have to face.
You are replying yourself. You are replying yourself. The ED does not have the proof. If they had it, they would have arrested. If they are not arrested, it means they don't have anything.
No, you are saying that they want
Very
to arrest.
simple.
If they want to arrest, they can arrest him.
But Baba, then you do it now. Who is stopping? Go to court and arrest him. Court has said 16th of March.
In case of Manish Sisodia, the court has said that there is ample proof.
You want to create an optics.
Arvind Kejriwal
You want to
is
create
related
an
to Mr.
optics of
Sisodia.
taking Arvind Kejriwal to the ED office, and all your cameras will be fixed on that. You want to show that he is being taken to the ED office. This is the drama you want to do, which you have done with others as well.
Ravi Srivastava, let me just give you a quick lesson here. Ravi Srivastava, let me just give you a quick lesson here. Now, what you are missing out is this.
Can I come in, please?
What you are missing out is this, Ravi Srivastava. Hear me out. Pratyush, I'll bring you in. Just a minute. Let me just give this lesson to Mr. Ravi Srivastava because he's not aware of it. Ravi Srivastava, the fact of the matter is this. To understand, an investigative agency is answerable before the court. While the politician may not, but the investigative agency is. So there is a high possibility when Chanda Kochhar arrest was done by the Central Bureau of Investigation.
If they're answerable to the
One second. Why do you have to jump? One second. Why do you have to jump for no reason?
This is not answerable when they have not done any inquiry of Hemant Sharma after he became a chief minister.
1 second, can you hear me out?
Investigative agency.
No, 1 second.
Double standards.
Ravi Srivastava, what is this tendency?
Only for one party
what is this tendency?
Investigative agency is working.
1 second.
Where are others? That washing machine friends.
1 second. Problem, Ravi Srivastava, is that Ravi Srivastava, please do understand one thing.
What is your problem? Why you are betting for one particular agency?
Simply shouting out.
Why you are not seeing the other side of the story?
1 second, you're not even hearing. The problem is that you have a problem with hearing.
That why somebody has not been arrested.
1 second.
He has been trained by Arvind Kejriwal, actually.
1 second, no one has said
don't get into
First of all, 1 minute, Pratyush and Ravi Srivastava, hold on this. Hold on to this. Hold on to this. If you remember correctly, 1 minute, Pratyush, 1 minute. Pratyush, 1 minute. As Ravi Srivastava, the investigative agencies are answerable to the court, and I'm saying this because remember, when Chanda Kochhar was actually arrested by the Central Bureau of Investigation, they were taken to the dry cleaners by the Bombay
agencies
High
are not God.
Simply saying that this was abuse of power.
Court 100 times. Their officers have been caught for corruption.
What is your problem? I don't understand. There is no point getting you in. Ravi Srivastava, either you don't understand the head or tail of the debate. I don't understand.
They can be used by the political party. And they are being used.
Okay, 1 second.
Rather not used, misused,
this man
and
doesn't
abused.
want to debate on very serious issue. It is about sabotage of constitutional system. He doesn't want to get into that. He is just trying to browbeat this debate into something else.
What happened to the washing machine?
You are challenging the whole process of law. You are challenging the court.
Running a washing
Arvind
machine,
Kejriwal
no?
very well knows
You
where he
clean
stands. And he's trying to skip out of the whole thing.
You abuse
And this
Ajit
man,
Pawar
this
one
man,
day,
this
and next
man
day you
is
take him
talking
in the
about
party.
washing
You
machines and
abuse
all.
Ashok
He's not
Chavan
getting
in
into
Adarsh
the,
housing
he's
scam
not getting
case,
into
and
the
next day you kick him for
seriousness
the
of the
Rajya
debate.
Sabha. What are you doing?
Is not ready
What
to
your party is
understand
doing?
the
You have
implications
no
of
moral
what
right to
Arvind
question it.
Kejriwal is doing. These are serious issues. The country and the people of this country very well know the fact that Arvind Kejriwal knows how corrupt
The
he is.
people of this
See,
country
what he's
very well
trying to
know
do
that
is,
BJP is a
what this
polarizing,
Kejriwal is
corrupt
trying to do
party.
is,
They know very well.
let me tell you, sir.
And they
Let
have
me tell you,
proved
sir.
it again
Ravi
and again.
Srivastava, not a single.
Let me tell you, sir. You are trying to just change the whole seriousness of this debate. We are talking here about the constitutional sabotage which is done by a chief minister here. He is trying to mislead the people. He is lying. Tomorrow, he's asking to tell us what questions you want to ask me. Make it in public camera. Do you think the country functions like this?
Why not?
I and you.
What is wrong
I
in
and
it?
you. No.
There
This is not
should be
how.
full transparency.
See,
Even Mr.
that
Modi
is why.
champions for the transparency.
That is why
Why
you
should
are
anything be
supporting
hidden?
Kejriwal.
Honorable Chief
That is why
Justice has
supporting
said he
Kejriwal
will not accept
because
anything
you
in the
have no
sealed cover
respect for the
because he
rule of
wants
law
full
of this country.
transparency.
You must learn to respect the
Even
rule
Honorable
of
Chief
law of
Justice
this
has said
country.
it.
It has been you. I'm quoting you Supreme Court judgments. You're not telling about that. I'm giving you Tamil Nadu judgment. I'm giving the 7th. Even look at it. Justice Chandrachud and 7 of his colleagues, the highest court, they gave a judgment that if you are corrupt, you are questionable. Arvind Kejriwal has made money. Ek daru free. Supreme Court judge has seen those documents.
Show it.
Have you
Where is
seen
the
those
money?
documents?
Have you caught any
seen what?
money?
Have
you
you
recovered
want to
even
tell
1
me that you
rupee?
are a High Court
What
judge,
have
you're
you
a Supreme Court
recovered?
judge?
You
Have
have
you
done
seen those
1,000
documents?
raids
You
on
have not.
people. What did you get? Not even a naya paisa.
You see,
And you are frustrated now.
you are doing here, you are trying to derail the debate. And that is very unfortunate. When you spoke, I heard you out. The moment I started quoting the judgments,
there is a reason why. There is a reason why.
You try to derail the debate.
Problem is, Pratyush, no.
They don't believe in law and constitution.
The reason why Ravi Srivastava wants to derail this, 1 minute. No, the point here is that, simply, thinking this high-octane responses, without any substance to it, without much substance to it, does not make much of a sense, Ravi Srivastava. The fact of the matter is this, that when Arvind Kejriwal is being questioned by the Enforcement Directorate, it's a very simple thing. Your statement is to be... Hold on. Hold on right now.
Is this the constitution?
1 second. Hold on. What do you mean? So if there are allegations, and first of all, let me tell you, Ravi Srivastava, it's not the whims and fancies of any investigative agency that they can summon any sitting chief minister. Hold on right now. Hear me out.
I am telling Supreme Court.
1 second. What clear-cut order? What clear-cut order are you talking about? What clear-cut order? Please tell me. What order has he got? What relief has he got? What relief has he got from the court? Has he got any relief? Has he got any relief? He hasn't got any relief from the court. And as far as this case goes, even the Supreme Court, even the court has actually come... 1 second. During the bail hearing of Manish Sisodia, let me just simply tell you, this is what the court had to say, that there is ample proof. The fact of the matter is that the investigation was never halted. Secondly, remember, there is an approver in this particular case who's taken the name of the sitting chief minister. If at all he's been called in for questioning and his statement is to be recorded under Section 50 of the PMLA Act, that is only because he's been given the chance. He's given the chance to explain his position on this entire matter. The problem is, if the man here, the sitting chief minister who has been, 1 second.
What is tentative?
1 second. The chief minister who has all this while espoused for the cause of corruption-free Bharat. Now, all this while, here was the chief minister, if you remember, when the Congress was in power, Aam Aadmi Party chief, Arvind Kejriwal had made several big claims. that even
so as Mr. Modi
a
also made
single
several
iota
statements.
of doubt.
He also said 15 lakhs will come to everybody's account.
One second. The
He
fact of
also
the matter
said
is
2
the
crore
Prime Minister
jobs will
was
be
cleared by the
created.
courts.
He
Now,
also
first
made
of all,
hundreds
Mr.
of
Arvind
promises.
Kejriwal should
Somebody
actually go
said
to the
petrol
court
will be
first.
sold for
Arvind
40
Kejriwal
rupees.
should be actually
Nobody said
hoping
it.
that there is
Let
some
me
merit
remind
in this
you,
particular case. Binay, let me come back to
He
you.
said this,
Ravi
he said
Srivastava.
that.
this man will
The
keep
story is
talking.
over.
Let me
Tell
remind
me,
you.
in last 10 years, how many people have
Kejriwal
been
told
convicted?
that Sonia
Tell me.
Gandhi,
Show me.
Sonia Gandhi should be put
Binay,
behind
Show me
bars.
how
a
many
quick
people
point
have
from
been convicted.
Binay
10
too.
years is too long a time for any court
He told
process.
the same
Yes,
thing about
Show
Sheila
me.
Dikshit, that Sheila
How
Dikshit
many
should
people have
join
been
the
convicted
agencies.
for the crime?
She should be put
What is
behind
the
bars.
success rate of the
See,
ED?
the problem
ED
is,
made
there is
25 cases to
there
the
is one
court,
line
out
answer to
of
this
which
man's
they
question.
say that we have
The
won
answer is,
96%.
the answer here is,
5,000
if they
cases
were
they
not
made against the
Rastogi,
leader
nobody
and
is
all
able to
valid.
hear anything.
In the air. Where are those cases?
Please be silent. Let me speak. It's my turn. Yes. So the
Just to
main
harass
point is,
people,
Sawan, that
just to
Mr.
malign the parties.
Srivastava,
This is what the
his
ED
leader,
CBI do.
his party, Aam Aadmi
Ravi
Party, they
Srivastava, please
don't
calm
believe
down
in
now.
judge and
Can we
judgment.
have
They don't believe in law and constitution because his party leader says that he's an anarchist. So that's why Mr. Srivastava has become a disruptor. He don't want any constructive debate to happen.
You don't name
So
me.
that's
I
the
have
reason,
never
because his
named you.
leader said that
You people
he
are
was
not
proud
worth
in
even
claiming
naming. I am
himself as an
telling you. I
anarchist.
only say co-panelist. Please don't name the people. I am not getting personal. And I least bother about what you are saying.
Now nobody is getting personal. But your leader said, that he's an anarchist,
You
and
are
you are
getting
disrupting that
personal,
video.
taking my name,
You are not.
my
You are not.
leader, my party.
You are
Where
not
did I say this is
letting
my
the
party?
constructive
What
debate
is
to
my
happen.
designation
This
in a
is not
political
your
analyst?
term. This is not your
I
term.
don't
So
belong
then
to
why
any
you are
party.
speaking? That means
I
you
am a
want to disrupt the
freelancer.
debate. You don't want to hear anything. You don't want to listen anything. So that's the thing. That's why
So why
very
should I
simply
listen to
that's
any
not a personal
nonsense?
comment.
You talk sense, I will
So when
listen.
your turn comes, then you speak. It's not your interview, sir. It's a debate. So everybody has a certain time, a
It's
fixed
not
time to
about
speak.
your statement also. You are naming me. You are saying your leader, your
Yes, you are
party.
disrupting.
What is this
This is
nonsense?
not your turn.
I don't know which party
You
you are
are
talking
speaking
about.
in my space. You are speaking in
Ravi
the other's
Srivastava,
space. So
if you're
let go
having
of
so
your
much a
space.
problem, Ravi Srivastava, it's
Let
okay.
go of your
Forget
space.
about him. Ravi
So
Srivastava,
this
the problem
is
is
the
that
habit of
you
Mr.
can't, you keep,
Kejriwal.
can I just simply tell you this? Ravi Srivastava,
Yes.
it's very unfortunate that you will not let any other co-panelist to even respond to what you are saying. You may believe that what you are saying is the gospel truth, but there's also the other section who believe that this gospel truth of yours is exactly how Arvind Kejriwal has been behaving.
Anchor
Lies
also
after
talks
lies.
with
The best part is that you
with
have an
the
IRS officer,
Bharatiya Janata Party
who
those
says that, look
people,
here, I've got
then
a
I
clean
can't
sheet
help
because my
it.
name
I
is
had
not
to
there in the
defend.
charge
I
sheet.
had to defend.
Simply saying that my name is not in the charge sheet, so I've got a complete clean sheet. God knows who's actually given him the clean sheet. Now forget about it.
It is your job to
Unfortunately,
question
it's
the
very
ruling
difficult
party,
to explain
Mr.
something like
Shravan,
this to you
which
because
you don't do.
you have scant
You
regard.
question the
You have
opposition
scant regard
always.
for the
Why?
Constitution. You have scant regard
It is
to the
your job
PMLA
after
Act.
10
You have
years to
scant
question
regard
the ruling
towards
party
any
for
processes
the
in place.
mess in
You
the
have scant
country.
regard for the
You never do
judiciary.
that.
You have scant regard for
I'm sorry.
anything that has got to do with a system in place. Now, if you believe in anarchy, I have nothing much to say on that. But Binay and then Nikhil Jain.
Shravan, they have got regard for Khalistan referendum, for Khalistanis. Because Arvind Kejriwal, when he started his campaign in 2017, he stays at the Khalistani's house. Their member of parliament, they supported Khalistan referendum. So they have got a regard for that. So that's why they have got this regard for the Indian agencies, for the Indian law and order, for the Indian judge, Indian judgments, Indian law, Indian constitution. And that's why Mr. Kejriwal says that I'm an anarchist. And that is visible when anyone supports Kejriwal. So they are basically encroaching in other spaces. So this is also a kind of corruption. This is my space, and if you are encroaching in my space, this is corruption. I say this is a what we will say that corruption in debate. My space is my space. That's my property, and you don't have a right to
Can I just get
encroach in that. Yes, Sawan.
Okay, 30 seconds to Nikhil Jain and 30 seconds to Pratyush.
Shravan, I'm not going to talk about the Khalistan referendum allegations. That's something I am not aware about. And if indeed any political party, any political leader, Mr. Kejriwal or anyone has done that, that's absolutely wrong. But so far as the ED is concerned, it is not just Mr. Kejriwal, it's a slew of leaders across the opposition and also the ones who are now in the BJP or with the BJP who have made these allegations that the ED is being used as a political tool to victimize and persecute opposition leaders in order to have them either defect to the BJP or stop their campaigning. The timings of the summons of the ED is obviously questionable, that sometimes you are summoning a sitting chief minister at the time of the budget, sometimes you're summoning a sitting chief minister during the time when he's supposed to be doing election rallies. The ED has had this case for a very long while, and for all these summons to come at very crucially, crucial political timings is obviously showing how the ED is playing in the hands of the BJP.
One last word, Pratyush, you ought to answer this question.
Yeah,
While,
I will just.
Ravi Srivastava has been saying this, but I'll put this across in this manner. I'll put this in this manner. You need to also answer this question. That if you really look at the investigations that have been carried out by the central agencies, it's been largely revolving around the opposition leaders, number one. Number two, as you say, that some of those very leaders who are under the scanner of the federal agencies, suddenly you find the federal agencies not really taking the entire case to a logical end if the person has shifted to your party.
Well, that's not true at all. You know, Prime Minister Modi is very clear. We are zero tolerance towards corruption. You have to understand the basic thing. It is the investigative agencies who probe a case, and they are the one who goes the documents to the court. Then the court takes a look at it, and then they give the decision. If Kejriwal was honest enough, don't you think they would have got bail? Do you think they would have been in jail, languishing in jail for such a long time? You have to understand, the system doesn't work on individual whims and fancies. Same Arvind Kejriwal used to go and tell everybody that Sonia Gandhi should be put behind bars, she should join the investigative agencies. He used to go and tell the same thing about Sheila Dikshit in Commonwealth Games. She should go and join the investigative agencies. She's running away from them. And I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm a bureaucrat. I know how important it is. Any leader who doesn't join investigative agencies is against the country. Same man who gave all these statements from hundreds of bhashan of his life today is absolutely giving a different story altogether. He says, no, you make it public, give me in writing, why are you calling me? How the investigating agency in this country work. The question here is, this man knows that he was involved in scam. This man knows he's neck deep into corruption. He's looking for ways to get out of it. He's just trying, and the people of this country, they very closely watch what he's doing. The same guy who used to swear on his children that I will never take a house, I will never take a bangla, I will never do this, has the costliest house ever made by a chief minister in the history of this country. This man is totally involved with corrupt people. He's going to attack the judiciary. He's going to attack the CBI, ED, and tell BJP is involved. How is BJP involved? You will make money. If cases will fight against you and say BJP is involved. Where is BJP figure in this whole thing? We are not. You make those house people go crazy.
All statements that have been made by Vivek Srivastava are only correct.
The people of it.
Gentlemen, I'm really running short of time, but thank you very much for joining us on the burning question. Now that the matter is already in the court, and Arvind Kejriwal will have to appear before the court on the 16th of March, we'll then see Vivek Srivastava what really happens. Because if that's when, if you still cry foul after his appearance on the 16th of March, then we'll see how it goes. But thank you very much, gentlemen. I'm really running short of time. Thank you very much for joining us on the burning question.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university for the 11th year by India Today, a testimony to Amity's world-class education whilst imbibing values and sanskars in students.
The countdown is on for the Republic Media Network's marquee event, our big event, the Republic Media Network Annual Summit on the 7th of March. This time our theme is Bharat the Next Decade. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll have an opportunity to hear from the Home Minister and the Finance Minister on the challenges and the opportunities and the game plan as far as our national security is concerned, as far as our economy is concerned, over the next decade, over the next half decade. And of course, the icing on the cake will be the Prime Minister giving his vision before all of us on Bharat the next decade. So this particular event is very different from the ones we have had earlier in the sense that this time it's not about the debate, it's about clarity, vision statements, and a focus on where we need to go as a nation. I'm really looking forward to having you all join us on television and on stream. And our team is working very hard to make this event a success. I'm sure you'll be there.
The confidence that Prime Minister Modi has been able to instill in the whole corporate sector that aap jao kaam karo hum hain. He's constantly saying think big, think global, and we hope we can live up to his expectations. As long as Prime Minister Modi is there, I think the country is in very safe hands. I frankly don't look at the nation or at the country as north, south, east, west. I look at it as Bharat.
If somebody is owning as an elected representative in democracy a constituency for 40 years, imagine what it should have been by today. If this is what the gift they can give, I think it's enough that they take retirement now. धर्मो रक्षते रक्षितः 21 लाख वोटरों का जो आंसू आज तक बहते आया है, शायद उसका गूंज दिल्ली तक सुनाई दिया है, तो जंग का ऐलान कर दिए है। और मुझे ऐसा लगता है अब सही मायने में उनको न्याय होने वाला है। मदरसे में बच्चों को खाना नहीं मिलता है, मंदिरों को कब्जा होते रहता है। Erased the so-called comments and rumors that Asaduddin Bhai is their B2 team, their B team. So I think with this, they have very, very, very loudly, they have declared to tell that how much wholeheartedly they would want to win Old City as a seat, as a constituency. So I'm excited and thrilled that they have really done so much of justice towards the constituency, and they've given me such a golden opportunity to really work hard with complete passion and dedication. I'm thankful to them.
Ma'am, 40 years the Owaisi family has been ruling over the Hyderabad constituency. They have his Asad's father Salahuddin has won the constituency, now Asad has won. Altogether a period of 40 years. So how do you think that you could, fight against the thing? Do you think that, what are the key aspects that you would want to raise in the constituency?
First of all, I would want to tell you that the biggest disadvantage that they run today is the kind of plight that have left the entire Old City constituency. In 40 years, what somebody can do is what Modi ji has proved as a chief minister in 25 years, and today in 2 terms he has proved what he can do as a prime minister. If somebody is owning as an elected representative in democracy a constituency for 40 years, imagine what it should have been by today. We all expect it to be somewhere as #1 constituency in the entire country. But today we see the plight of it as one of the worst constituencies, to the extent that it has been literally abandoned even as a constituency if it exists in this country. If this is what the gift they can give, I think it's enough that they take retirement now.
What do you promise to the constituents, ma'am? What is the promise from your side? What do you think is the one thing that is lacking in the...
Right to neighborhood. Everything that their neighborhood is enjoying. Everything that their neighborhood is enjoying. The roundabout constituencies that share the common boundaries with Old City as a constituency. The Old City constituency has nothing. If you want to take about the hygiene, no. Road sanitation, no. Education, no. Health, no. Poverty, yes. Child labor, yes. Early child marriages, yes. N number of kids with no facilities, yes. Destitute old people, yes. Demolitions, yes. Kabja, yes. Land grabbings, yes. Now you tell me, did he leave anything, anywhere? No education, no higher education. Nutrition is pathetic. Now you tell me, he has left entire big chart that I think some Somalia should really develop that place. Agar aap puchhenge, if you want to ask me that, what all should happen in Somalia to develop? That's all poor, the entire list is left for Old City. So the first thing that I would want to look at it is, immediately pump in education, sanitation, hygiene, and health facility. Along with that, maybe some immediate basic employment for women and for youth. This has to be the utmost priority now that should go in, because these are the survival things that they need right now. So I'm sure that, beautification and all that comes second. They are in dearth of the basic things. I'm sure ANI would one day come along with me in all my campaigning to really see the beauty of the so-called the great Old City that has been gifted by our great existing MP to the constituency. ऐसा लग रहा है मुझे धर्मो रक्षित रक्षितः 21 लाख वोटरों का जो आंसू आज तक बहते आया है, शायद उसका गूंज दिल्ली तक सुनाई दिया है, और उनके लिए न्याय करने के लिए हमारे जितने भी बड़े भाई वहां बैठे हुए हैं ना, तो जंग का ऐलान.
Trending burning question, powered by Reva University and Century Club Prime.
देश के कोटि कोटि लोग मुझे अपना मानते हैं, अपने परिवार के सदस्य की तरह मुझे प्यार करते हैं, और इसलिए मैं कहता हूं 140 करोड़ देशवासी यही मेरा परिवार है. तेलंगाना के मेरे भाइयों बहनों, मेरा जीवन खुली किताब जैसा है. आप मुझे देशवासी भली भांति जानते हैं, समझते हैं. मेरी पल पल की खबर देश रखता है. कुछ लोग आदत से मजबूर होते हैं, मेहनत करने की कुछ आदत भी कम होती है, और इसलिए बड़ी सरल भाषा में कह देते हैं कि ये तो चुनावी सभा है. राष्ट्र के विकास के लिए भाजपा का यही कमिटमेंट है जिसके कारण तेलंगाना के भी लोग पूरे जोश से कह रहे हैं अब की बार 400 पार, अब की बार 2014 के बाद बीजेपी की केंद्र में सरकार ने तेलंगाना के विकास को, आदिवासी समाज के सम्मान को इतना महत्व दिया।
I am very, very happy to announce that Niva Bupa Health Insurance has come on board as Republic TV's studio partner. Niva Bupa Health Insurance is the fastest growing company among standalone health insurance players in India. It has also provided health insurance coverage to 1.1 crore people in India and settled over 15 lakh claims, processing one claim every 60 seconds. So we are delighted to be partnering with them.
somebody is owning, as an elected representative in democracy, a constituency for 40 years, imagine what it should have been by today. If this is what the gift they can give, I think it's enough that they take retirement now. धर्मो रक्षते रक्षितः 21 लाख वोटरों का जो आंसू आज तक बहते आया है, शायद उसका गूंज दिल्ली तक सुनाई दिया है, तो जंग का ऐलान कर दिए है। और मुझे ऐसा लगता है अब सही मायने में उनको न्याय होने वाला है। मदरसे में बच्चों को खाना नहीं मिलता है, मंदिरों को कब्जा होते रहता है।
Lalu taunts Prime Minister has no parivar. Prime Minister's My India, My Parivar retort.
140 करोड़ देशवासी यही मेरा परिवार है.
Is Prime Minister's war cry making opposition jittery? Debating at 9 p.m.
From the Delhi studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate.